guys, it's Josephine. I'm here doing a video for you guys, and this is kind of your 411 contouring video. I just wanted to, rather than just make a video that this is how I contour my face, I thought I would kind of do a little instructional video for you guys, because contouring is very specific and unique to each and every person. So with that being said, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of kind of like information. I hope I don't bore you guys, but everything I'm about to tell you guys when it comes to contouring is very important. And then at the end, I'm going to do like a demonstration video, and it's not really so you can copy how I do my contouring. It's just so you can learn kind of like some techniques that I use. So with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing that you guys need to know is what contouring is and what it's for. Those of you who don't know, contouring is used to correct, and in some cases it's even used to accentuate certain features on our faces. Say you have like a really, I don't know, round face, and it just has no structure at all, it's just completely round. Contouring in your case can be used to give your face a little bit more structure, to give the illusion that you have cheekbones, that your face is a little bit more narrow, and so it can just really be used to correct your face. Say you have like really beautiful high cheekbones and you want to kind of bring those out. In your case, contouring would be used to accentuate those. And so you want to make sure that you're doing contouring for your face. You want to make sure that you're not copying the way somebody else contours their face. So I'm going to go ahead and post a link for you guys below, and this is just going to be a really cool website. It's going to give every face shape that there is, and it's going to show you exactly where you're going to contour your face and exactly where you're going to highlight your face. So it's going to be very helpful. So before you contour your face, please make sure to check this website. They're just basically like little face charts that you can go off of, so that's really helpful. As a makeup artist, not even as a makeup artist, but just personally for myself, contouring was always my biggest struggle. And the reason why is because I tried to do everybody's face the same. And it just doesn't work like that. Somebody has a round face, you're going to contour like underneath their cheekbones, and then you're going to go down. That's not going to work for everybody's face, because if somebody has like a really long face and you do that, you're just going to make it look even longer and skinnier. And that's the thing. I see a lot of videos on YouTube that will show you, for example, Kim Kardashian. She's probably the most sought after contouring style that there is out there, and a lot of people, and even I was guilty of this when I was first starting out, a lot of people try to replicate her contouring style a little bit too much. So you can't really look at a picture of Kim Kardashian and say, well, she starts it right here and then she goes down all the way right here. You can't do that. And that's what I would do. I would get a magazine or a picture of her, and I would just to the T try to replicate her contouring, and I would end up making myself look kind of like masculine, and I couldn't understand why, what I was doing wrong. I was like, I'm doing it exactly like her, and that's just what it is. I don't have the same shape of face that Kim Kardashian has, so I need to do contouring that is specifically for my face. So what you need to remember is that if you're going to contour, you also need to highlight as well. And basically, what you're trying to achieve here is not only give your face a little bit of structure, but you want to bring into focus this area right here and everything in between. So you want your eyes to be really into focus, this area right here, just on the sides of your nose, and this area right here. Okay, so that's what you want to remember. So when you contour, what you're going to do is you could take a pencil or a brush or whatever it is that works for you, and just the corner of your eye right here, you're just gonna like draw this little invisible line, pretend like there's an invisible line there, and when you do contour, wherever it is going to be on your cheek, you're gonna stop right there, okay, and you're not gonna go any further than that, and that's going to be where where all the contouring is going to be focused at. And certainly, like when you're drawing your line right here, you have to blend it down and everything. You have to blend it out a little bit toward this way, but it's not really going to show too much. It's just going to kind of even everything out. That way you don't look like you just have this really harsh line. So that's something to remember. Another thing that you need to remember is to blend your product in. When you're doing your cheeks, don't just go straight down like that, okay? When you go straight down, and I'm going to show you everything in my little demonstration video, but you always just need to make sure that everything's blended out. Otherwise, you're going to look too masculine, unless that's the look that you're going for. By all means, go on and do it. But if you're not, if you're looking for something a little bit more feminine, then you need to make sure that you blend. Okay, do not, under any circumstances, use a bronzer to contour. This is probably the second biggest mistake that I always see next to not contouring for your face shape. Bronzer, I don't care if it's matte, shimmery. I'm sure some of you have heard that you can't contour using something that's shimmery, so maybe people kind of assume that as long as you buy a bronzer that's matte that it'll work. No. Stay away from bronzers altogether. Bronzers were meant to give warmth and kind of just a glow to the face, and so therefore any bronzer you buy, whether it's matte or shimmery, it's going to be warm toned, and that's not going to contour. You're not going to get that contouring effect. You're just kind of going to get a glow. You can kind of make yourself look muddy or dirty. It's just not, it's not what it's meant for. So you need to buy something that is specifically meant for contouring or face sculpting. Probably one of the best ones out there is MAC's. It's a blush, but it's called Blunt. Also, you can purchase pressed powders that are cool toned, that are 2 to 3 shades darker than the foundation that you use, and those will work as well, as long as it's cool toned. Also, you can either contour with a concealer or you can contour with a powder. This demonstration that I'm going to show you is going to be with a powder, but I mean, if you guys would like me to show you how to do it with the concealer, I would be more than happy to do that for you guys. But for now, I'm just going to do powder. So the brushes that I'm using to contour, they're not the contouring brushes. They just so happen to be the brushes that I use and that I like. And if you don't have these brushes, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to contour your face correctly, and that doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy them. I mean, unless you would like to try them out, I really would recommend them, but anything that you have that is meant for contouring, a brush that's meant for contouring would work. If you don't know what a contouring brush is, it's a brush where the bristles kind of radiate from small to large, so they kind of go at an angle. And you can use like a smaller blush brush if you would like, if you don't have a contouring brush, but I really do recommend in the future buying a contouring brush, just because how it's shaped, it's a lot easier to kind of get in there, and it just works a lot better. So what I use is the EcoTools Kabuki brush. I really like this brush because of how forgiving it is, and the bristles are just like so freaking soft, and if I just so happen, I don't even have to tap any powder off. If I pick up too much product, it's not gonna make it's not gonna like show really bad on my face. It just really blends the product in really good. And it just gives like a really natural, nice finish. So I do this first, kind of giving myself a blended look, and then to kind of detail and I guess you would say top it off. I don't really know what the word would be. I get my smaller contouring brush, more dense version of the other brush that I use, and it's just really to kind of, like I said, just adds a little bit more detail and kind of just a little bit more defined. Like when you're doing the cheeks, it adds a little bit more of a defined edge. Now lastly, for my nose, when I contour my nose, I'm using this brush by Sonia Kashuk, and it is her multi-purpose blending brush, and I just really would recommend this brush, or you could even use the MAC blending brush to do your nose, because it just really blends it in. And if you're a female and you're trying to get like a really feminine look, and you're not really going after like a really sharp masculine look, you really want, on your nose, you want it to be really blended in. Otherwise you're just going to have either like a Michael Jackson looking nose or just like a really masculine looking nose. So I recommend the blending brush. It's not going to deposit too much product onto your face, onto your nose, and it's just going to blend it in really nicely. So the other two brushes aren't really that important. I think this one, if you're going to contour your nose, it is important.